Hello, everybody. LisaMarie. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing today? Let me know if you are watching live or if you're watching the replay. I'd appreciate that. And let me know where you are viewing from. This country? What state? Where are you? The chapter 6 is how riches come to you. If you remember in chapter 5, we kind of talked about adding more value to others or the world while you improve yourself. So basically what that means is you can't be screwing others to get ahead. Okay, things have to be done in a certain way, and we hear that throughout this book. Doing things in a certain way. Yeah, if you are in a business where you are not you, but that business is taking value away from people, you need to get out of that business immediately because that is not going to do you any good. Get rid of that business. If you're doing things in a certain way where you are helping others to advance while you are advancing, then that is when the universe comes, and it will come. If you are a person that you give and give and give and give and give, you will get that back. There's no guarantee when. We don't know how, and we don't know from who. But it absolutely will come back. So then we've got all these people. This statistic blew my mind out, and from where I'm gathering that information from was probably like 3, maybe 4 years ago. So it's fairly, we're not talking 1910 when this book was written. We're talking 3 or 4 years ago. And of the 7 billion people that are on the planet, this is mind-boggling. There are 6 million people that make less than $2 a day. Are you flipping kidding me? Talk about living in poverty. And a lot of people think that it's really brave, or God would respect them more if they suffer or if they are in poverty. Do your due diligence. You need to suffer before you improve. That is not true. It is absolutely not true. If we plant those seeds, it goes back to harvesting. You will harvest. You absolutely will. If we're talking farming, you cannot reap what you plant in the same season. Okay? So you can't, sorry. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay. You have to plant the seeds in one season, and this relates to every part of life. We do have to give and give before we can receive, but you are never going to receive in that same season. Okay, if that makes sense. Just like planting your garden, you plant early spring. You are not going to harvest in the spring. You are not going to harvest until probably early fall at the earliest, right? So we always want to be giving more than we take. Okay, here's an example. Now, keep in mind, this book was written in 1910, okay? And I am taking that analogy. They talked of this man that was going to trade items with this other guy. He was an Eskimo and he was a fur trader. So he hunted, he trapped, and he skun, furs, whether it be fox or whatever. There's all kinds of fur animals out there. And do they still do that? Do they still? Yeah, of course they do. There's people out there trapping. But anyway, so he brings to this guy $500 worth of furs. And the guy thinks, oh my gosh, I got this beautiful painting. Anyone would die for it. It's worth $1,000. Okay. How do you think that kind of a trade would go over? What is that fur trader going to do with that picture? Is that going to help advance him in his life? Is that going to make things better for him? Absolutely not. What good is that picture to him unless he goes out and finds somebody that can afford to buy it for or from him? That's not the case. But what if that guy had an old gun? It's only worth $50 and he decided to give that to the fur trader instead. What would that do for that fur trader? That would absolutely enhance his life. It has more cash value to him than that painting does, because he can continue to get furs and trade them. See what I mean? For food, shelter, whatever. If we start thinking about, there's a lot of people out there in poverty, okay? And when you tell somebody they need to give before they can get anything, they're like, what do I have to give? I have nothing. I struggle for my food every day. Sometimes I have no electric, I have no heat. What do I have to give? But there is plenty. This is not just about money. There is plenty to give, even from the poorest soul. You can give kindness. You can give time. There are so many things that you can give. And this is going to go back to why a mentor is so flippin' important. Okay, that mentor, I've heard a lot of things about my two mentors, and most of them are 120% absolutely positive. And these two mentors are documented everything that they did, and they give that to you, and you are doing the same business as they are. Why would you not even attempt to follow that? Back to gifts. My mentor has gifted me many books, which I am now allowed to gift them to whoever I want to. And that is what my group is about. To be determined. If you want these free books, all you have to do is reach out or just type in the comments, me. That's all you have to say is me. I will get that book to you. Okay? There was this old guy, and somebody came and talked to him and kind of gave him a lecture, a sermon, whatever. And he was trying to tell this guy was very, very poor. He had a job. He was living in this rundown shack. It was not a pleasant sight. So this guy was telling him how to manifest things. First of all, visualize it, right? And you got to Put every emotion you have into that visualization. So he thought, okay, you know what? I could use a nice rug, like right over there, because it gets really cold in the winter. And you know what else? I could use a nice wood stove right there. And he started picturing it in his rundown shack. He pictured that stove there. He pictured himself going out and gathering wood. He felt himself, getting, he who cuts wood is twice warmed, right? He felt himself warming up, and it just gave him so much pride inside. He felt it with every emotion. And it did happen. It did happen. Then this guy came back 1 year later, and here is this guy. He only had a job where he was living day to day, literally. That was it. But after that guy left and before he came back, this guy was thinking, oh my God, that worked. What if I started? I didn't ask for enough, is what he thought. I didn't ask for enough. I need to ask for more. So he started visualizing all the changes that he wanted to make within that little shack. He pictured a bay window, like right there. He said, you know what? We could put on an extra room right there. He visualized the furnishings. He visualized his kitchen. He visualized all of this. So when that guy came back that year later, this guy was not renting anymore. He owned it. He owned that home, and he had fixed it up, and he was actually rebuilding it. He was rebuilding it with all the thoughts that he formed in his head on how his new place would look. How cool is that? You absolutely can manifest. I have done it. I'm not good at it yet. You need practice. Practice, practice, practice. You are going to get better each and every time. And I am getting better at manifesting. And when it does happen, you are going to be blown away. You are going to be blown away, and you have found the secret the very first time you did it, and you realize it, you will be able to do it again. How cool is that? All right. This is real short. I don't think you have to rise from the competitive to the creative. You have to do things in a certain way. Okay? You always have to give more in value, use value, than you take in cash value or use value if you are bartering, if you are trading. Okay. All right. That's all I got today, Wednesday, chapter 7. If you got any value out of this, give me some love. Give me a heart or something. Don't be so stingy. Okay. You all are invited to my group, To Be Determined. You can get your free books there. All we do in that group is offer value and encouragement. Nothing else. Okay? If you want to follow that, and I can put you in front of my mentors, 100% free. Shut up. I'm serious. 100% free. If you don't want to take that leap, I guess you got to deal with that yourself. But if I at least offered that to you, I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care what business you are in. If I at least offer that to you and you decide not to, then it is not my fault. It is your own. So, all right, guys, have a great night. I'm out of here. I've got running to do.